From the station that's on your side, you're watching News 19 at 7.
Good evening and thanks for being with us on this Friday. I'm Nicole Butler. We begin tonight with details of a final document filed to the Supreme Court in the legal battle between Attorney General Alan Wilson and David Pasco. Ever since Wilson's press conference where he attacked the special prosecutor's credibility, we hadn't heard much from Pasco until now. News 19's Joyce Coe joins us now in the studio with more details on Pasco's response. A key part of this response includes the timeline from SLED Chief Mark Keel, who headed the investigation. Keel says while working on the Harrell case, other names of lawmakers came up. After the Harrell case ended, Keel says that he had no specific direction on what to do with the other lawmakers in the case until he received a letter from Attorney General's office. That letter said that Pasco should make the decision to prosecute because of Wilson's recusal from the case. So SLED continued to work with Pasco on the investigation without involving the Attorney General's office. However, when the need for a state grand jury investigation became clear, Keel says that the clerk of the state grand jury, who had initially been on board, backed out, saying he worked under the Attorney General's office. Attorney Jay Bender, who also filed to the Supreme Court to unseal documents in the case, gives us his take on Keel's timeline.
I interpret Keel's remark to indicate that the Attorney General's office had taken an active step to impede the continuing investigation. I may be reading too much into that language, but I certainly thought that that was the tenor of Keel's affidavit, that after the Attorney General had recused himself, the office had taken steps to stop.
There are a lot of different parts mentioned in this response. If you want a full look at the documents, you could head to their website at WLTX.com. Columbia police are investigating a shooting from earlier today. It happened along the 1500 block of Cody Street. Police say that a woman was shot and taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Investigators say that they are still trying to determine a motive and a suspect. If you have any information that could help the police, call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. A Sumter woman has just been arrested for filing a false police report. She's 18-year-old Krista Talbot. Investigators say that she told deputies she had been sexually assaulted at the home on Pond Loop Road. Turns out the assault never happened. When Talbot was told she was going to be placed under arrest, they say that she screamed and pulled away. She's now facing charges for filing a false police report and resisting arrest. Changes could be coming for some students at the Citadel. They're now considering the request from a Muslim student to allow her to wear a traditional Muslim headscarf. The school says that they have an incoming freshman who's asked to wear her head covering, and that they believe this is the first time a student has asked for this type of change. They say they'll make their decision in the next couple of weeks. The Citadel students are required to wear the uniforms at nearly all times. Rebuild Midlands, a local group who's helping flood victims recover from last October, finished another home project today. The owner says that she's thankful and happy to be home.
Thank you. Very grateful that my kids can come back home because I really miss my kids. And through this whole ordeal, it makes you stronger because you take a lot of stuff for granted and you see that things can change in the blink of an eye and you can make it. You just have to keep strength, you can make it.
Today's house was the 6th completed home through this project. Imagine not having a car, working all day and going to a home you share with 10 strangers. That's how some South Carolina farm workers live. News 19's Sonia Gutierrez tells us about an effort to change that.
Meet Rafael José Luciano Ramos. He's been a farm worker for 3 years.
Give me 1 second. Sorry. The plan is to have a farm worker institute every year. On your side tonight with a reminder that the deadline to file for taxes is approaching. It's been extended to April 18th. That's Monday. The usual deadline is today, but it's been pushed to Monday because today is Emancipation Day in our nation's capital and the IRS was closed. New USC head football coach Will Muschamp has made another change to the program. He's decided to part ways with the team's chaplain, Adrian Desperez. He's been the Gamecock football chaplain for 16 years. Steve Fink, the USC Assistant Athletic Director, says Muschamp's philosophy is to not just have one voice, but multiple voices available to assist with the spiritual development of the student athletes. He says that the decision was not related to the complaint from the Freedom from Religion Foundation about having a paid chaplain on staff. Fink says that complaint came in August and is not tied to Muschamp's decision in any way.